Dude, I'm Rick. Ricky, my dude, Easy Rick. I'm very, very first and foremost grateful that you're able to join the show, especially in person. I know it's a little chilly outside and whatnot, but hopefully heat it up in here. It's not too bad, and I'm just man. I've heard a lot of really great things from a lot of people I admire and look up to, and am grateful to call friends. So for them to say the things that they have about you, like we were saying a few minutes ago, 10 minutes ago roughly, you probably wouldn't believe them. So I'm not going to tell you, but I do want you to know that, and that you're appreciated for being here today.
I like the mystery. I like the mystery. I like that of just because it's just nice, like then I just think, what it could put up possibly? Is it this? Is it this?
It could be anything.
Let's just play off all of them because they're all just so great.
So let's keep it all up there.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm really excited to meet with you. And this, I think, what's cool about this episode specifically with you is I've met and like hung out with a handful of the people I've had on the show before they did the show. Whether I've trained with them or whether I've like watched fights or just like been in this circle with like a few people and we've chatted or I knew them prior.
You had a rapport.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. And that wasn't the case. We'll get into my first impression down the road, how it fits in the timeline. But for now, take us through kind of a bit about yourself. But start your kind of timeline, if you will, from like leaving post-secondary. Take me through that and those decisions, and then we'll go through it full circle.
Okay, well, there's been a few because I'm 42 years old.
Amazing.
So there's a lot to cover, and I'm going to do my best to be chronological, but like it is what it is, right? So right after high school, I was living with a group of dudes. It was like Animal House style, like you watch on TV. Like,
no kidding.
Like just college frat. That's what we were trying to go for. So we're just a bunch of guys living in an apartment. About 3 of us, and so I'm working at Tim Hortons. School just ended. I'm feeling like the withdrawal of not playing high school sports anymore. Like high school sports just ended. All that just came to an end. And during the process of high school, I did have a dream that I wanted to play post-secondary or pro volleyball or basketball. This was the thing.
No kidding.
I played lots of basketball. Played lots of volleyball. At one point, it's all I did was just play basketball, and it was my dream. But anyways, I was in high school, and then once high school ended, it was like that. It came to an end. My high school sweetheart, she went away to school or whatever, so that ended. So that was like I was with her for 2.5 years. So that to me that was a big crushing thing. So all these things were all happening all at once, and then just even ending school, like is just coming to terms with ending that 4-year process of your life. For me, it was 5 years. I took an extra year.
Nice.
But me and a couple of my buddies actually. It wasn't too bad. There's a few of us.
You play more basketball and volleyball?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Your eligibility, you had 5 years, so you still rock that.
Yeah, you played for 5.
So I did, and it's actually cool because I wouldn't have even played high school basketball, but there's a mutual friend that I think you have with me, Christian Robertson. You know, he does the 5 cents.
Oh, that is, it's Christian. Okay, I never knew his last name, so when you said it, I was like...
So, like, my senior year, before I played senior ball, I wasn't even going to play senior ball, and I'm walking through Wembley School, and I'm just going to my buddy's house, and a loose ball flies off, and I grab the ball, and I pop a J, and it's just like this most beautiful 3, and I'm looking at it, and it goes in, and it's like, oh, nice.
It's like
I walk in, I'm like, I celebrate this, and this Christian, he's like, he's like, get the fuck out of here, man. I'm like, what? He's like, you heard me, get the fuck out of here. I'm like,
no.
I'm like, come again? He's like, listen, man, he's like, if I had your natural ability that you had, he's like, I wouldn't have fucking thrown it away the way you did. Because
he said
I took time off. I skipped a year of basketball and sports to play, just to fuck around, and what I was basically doing was hanging out with buddies, and there's lots of music going on. I was hanging out with bands. I was participating in bands. I was rapping. I was doing all kinds of stuff like that. Just didn't pertain to the school, the academic or extracurricular lifestyle. So I decided to hang out with my girlfriend, hang out with my friends, do all that stuff. Took away, like, didn't do the sports. So he was pissed off at that, which I rightfully so.
Yeah,
I did. So right after I left that schoolyard, I went to Laurentian. I got a membership to the gym, and I trained for the next 2 months. Went back and played senior ball, and just
demoed, eh?
Well, we lost to LaSalle. We always lost to LaSalle. It was Lockerbie because I went to Lockerbie. So Lockerbie and LaSalle, it was always us and them. And so I ended up, just going back, and because of him. Yeah. And that's how I just want to bring him up now because he's going to come in full circle at the end of.
I'm excited
at the end of this whole process here.
Nice, introducing the characters.
And So he's here. So Christian, what's up? So like I was going through all that, dealing with the withdrawals of just changing and of just high school's done, and I didn't have a plan because I didn't have any funds saved for school. I didn't have any aspirations other than the fact that I knew that I was good at sports and I knew that I liked to rap and and that's it. So I'm like, well, what can I do?
More than most people know.
So I'm thinking, what am I gonna go into? So I started thinking like maybe sports administration, sports, and then my buddy that I was talking to at the time, a good buddy of mine, Ryan Maston, he was talking to a professor. I think we call it professor, but she was starting a program at Laurentian called sports psychology, and her name was Dr. Wendy Jerome.
Yeah.
So he set me up with an interview for Dr. Jerome to get into her program that she was running for the first year. This was the first year, so they didn't even have the Francophone side, so they only had 25 people that she was accepting nationwide. 25 people English. She hadn't reached the French side yet, but so I had an interview, and I ended up nailing the interview. So she liked my, I guess, the cut of my jib. She liked my level of literacy, because you had to be a certain level of athlete, like a caliber of athlete, have certain accolades under your belt. So I've had cities and also championships.
Nice.
I had winning under my belt, but a certain level of literacy that you had to be able to maintain a GPA that they obviously wanted you to attain.
For sure.
So she was accepting people based on that, and she accepted me, but the only problem was that I didn't have the qualifications that you needed to get in. You needed the OACs at this time and all that, but I didn't tell her this. I didn't even tell my friend this. He was under the impression I had OACs, but I didn't.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that that's what I needed to get into this program. So anyways, make a long story short, I didn't take that opportunity, but it was there. So that built my confidence a little bit, though, to know that I was one of 25 that could have gotten the program, so that was really nice to know. So that didn't go through, unfortunately. So that was one thing that I did right after high school, that I was trying to make a step in that direction. But then I'm like, okay, well, whatever. I can go to take SPAT at Durham. That's where I was thinking, okay, next. So I started saving money for school. So I was working at Tim Hortons and working at Yugi's restaurant at the exact same time. Do you remember Yugi's restaurant by any chance? It was It was on Ontario Street and Douglas. It was Italian. It was awesome. They had the best wings, man.
I'd like to say I do, but they're closed now, right?
Yeah, they're closed now. Yeah, they're not in some insurance company, I believe, or something. But
gross. That's how they get.
It was great. So my goal was to save up as much money as I could quick, because I didn't have like funds like saved, and I didn't even think of the idea of a student loan at the time.
Or bursaries or anything, eh?
Nothing. I didn't have any guidance, to be quite honest. Like as far as my future was concerned in that respect, because I didn't really make it a point to make it my priority. Like I was just concerned about in high school, and then even just after school, just hanging out with the friends and just trying to hold on to as much of that high school vibe as I could, you know? Yeah, so that's what we did. Like I was saying, I was living with 3 buddies, and then working at these 2 places. I made the money that I needed to go to school. Right. Then when the time came, I'm just like, nah, you know what? I like making money, and I've been working since I was 13. So having a job is not something new to me. I was always grinding. Always. Oh, perfect. Even in high school, like I was working at Tim Hortons after school. Yeah. Teacher would let me sleep in class, and nobody would, because they knew that after school they were going to get coffee from me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like they knew that I was grinding hard. I've always been a hard working individual. Like that's something like, even you'll hear in the story, there's like a little hiccup where I went off track a bit, but like for the most part, I'm just trying to figure stuff out. Like you're saying, like who knows at that point? Whoever does know, like you're ahead of the game for real.
What I want to know though, right? I'm going to put a pause in the time on here. But what do you think instilled that like I need to work the 2 jobs? I need to like work that hard to actually get to where I want to go.
I just needed a fast track. I needed to get it done.
Self.
Well, there was just the timeline was short. There was only like 4 months in which I had to do this, so I had to do it fast. So I had to work a couple jobs in order to do it. And when I did it, I attained the goal. I'm like, wow, I nailed it. But then I'm like, okay.
Oh, that gave you the more.
And then I had time to kill, and then it just gave me more time to think. And then as that time progressed, I ended up leaving Tim Hortons, ended up just working at Yugi's, and then from Yugi's, I started in this whole different game, man. Before this whole like Durham was about to happen, like this whole. I started in this telemarketing gig. Yeah. And it's telemarketing, like, high octane, like, well, first it was Omega Direct Response. That was a call center they had in town. And a lot of people were doing it. This was the thing, because you weren't making minimum wage. At the time, you were making $10 an hour or commission, okay? So you had a base pay of $10, but at the time, minimum wage was like $6.50 an hour. So,
come on.
So you're like, okay.
You're already making more just to show up.
You're balling, you know? And you're just out of high school, so you're like, okay. So I'm doing these, like, boiler room things, and it's like, I'm watching the movies like Glengarry Glen Ross and like these Boiler Room, the movie, and like all these trade like cliche sales movies that you watch, and I just got really into it. Like I knew all the lines, I knew all the monologues, I knew everything, I knew all the rules in which to sell, and like we were selling everything from cable, like high speed cable internet. That was the best thing. I went to a place called Alltel Marketing. It was on the corner of the Kingsway and Berrydown. It was like. You only could work 4-hour shifts because it was so high pressure and high octane. It was a boiler room, and you had these managers running the floor and just saying like, "Yo, right here, you got one." They're running put your sales on the board, and and then you're converting.
Go for 4 hours.
And you're doing this. All you're doing is this when internet went from dial up to high-speed internet.
Amazing.
So basically, we're just calling these people and converting them. But in doing so, we're getting a commission off each sale.
Amazing.
And they're giving you a big pie, and the people that are selling are making a chunk of this pie. If you're not selling, you're not making anything. You can make your base $10 an hour. But if you're selling, like there was one point, I made $75 an hour.
Amazing.
Because I was converting so much.
Dude, now that's a lot.
So
back then,
that was huge. Just imagine. And I wasn't the only guy. I wasn't the only guy pumping those numbers.
Sure.
There was other guys. I was, however, the only guy that was pumping all that numbers. They call it you're slamming. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's when you're not lying, but you're not necessarily telling them the whole story in which to get your sale.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a couple of guys that were like the best in the country. Not only the best in the country, but the best in the continent. Jesus. I'm telling you right now, it was an American company. It was called Altel Marketing. They only had one location in Canada. We would get all the sales records for all 120 locations, all branches, and there's two guys that would get like top. I got top once for 1 week.
Let's go.
No, for real. Okay, I got top. But the thing about me is that I sell based on just script, tonality, and just like quality. So I sound like I'm the actual like CEO of the company that's calling you. That's how I would interact and operate.
Wow.
There would be no hiccups, no death pauses. Yeah. I'd just be like so assumptive. I wouldn't give you an opportunity to, and even if you did, I had 5 rebuttals ready to go. Like I was ready to go. So I really embraced that, and I love that. And you know what? That was a huge thing that got me into like just wanting to be in this like emceeing and speech and all that stuff that I do now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I will say that was fun. And once I basically finished doing that little part of, like, I guess you could say discovering myself, I decided, okay, like this is crazy.
Almost unintentional, eh?
Yeah,
like that's what you're doing, but you're not like I'm gonna go discover myself.
Yeah,
it's
but
like I'm right here.
But it's like, how can I utilize these tools and these components that I've like basically accumulated throughout the process of doing this whole boiler room shit? And I'm like, what am I gonna get into? Like, I gotta go to school. Like, it was always my intent to go to school. I always wanted to. It was never not my intention to go to school. I just it wasn't in my cards because I just didn't have the plan. I didn't. Yeah. I slacked on the plan, and then it caught up to me. But anyways, I'm thinking, what am I going to do? So I looked into Cambrian, and I looked into programs, and I'm like, oh my gosh, public relations. I read it. I'm like, this is all the things that I'm proficient at, that I think I could be proficient at.
I want to develop.
Like, and it had like stuff from video production to web design to
sweet program,
desktop publishing. Like, like making your own like posters and like all your own promo stuff.
Oh,
you know
sick!
I mean?
Going from like 0 to
and corporate speech writing and like all kinds of stuff like marketing, advertising, event planning, fundraising, like all kinds of stuff that you could possibly fucking imagine. Like, it's just so well rounded of programs. So I'm like, I got to do this. So I went and enrolled in it. Yeah. But this isn't even like I skipped a bunch of stuff. I guess you could say up to that point. Like, it kind of kicked in from the marketing, but. I moved in with another group of buddies, like 2 other buddies from the group that I was with. So these guys were a little different in the sense that they were more goal-oriented and focused. Like, this was... So I'm talking around... All this stuff I'm talking around is like around the age of 22.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So 22, 23. So we skipped a couple years, but
I
was just partying and having fun.
The early... some years there in that timeline, man, are honestly write-offs. Yeah. So when I went to school, went into college, post-secondary, it was right around the time of 22, and I went as... I was more of a mature student. I wasn't like the people that were coming into this the program were like 18, 19. So I had a little bit more life experience to offer, I guess you could say, because I'd already been working on the game, but not too much, not so much so, because it really at that time all there really was to do was just party and have fun, right? That's true. Yeah.
So I ended up getting this apartment outside of living with these guys downtown above Peddler's Pub. So it was right above Peddler's Pub, right above the sushi place. Yeah. And Peddler's. Like, I had 3 like huge windows, all you could see everything street side. So I basically lived there, and then I started the program. So when I started the program, I was living there, and I was living in my dream apartment. Like, it was so nice. You don't understand. Like, you walk in, there's a foyer, you have these French doors. What? Like, beautiful tile. Come on. You looked at the ceiling, it looked like the Sistine Chapel, man. The way that it was just so sculpted and just the architecture in there. And then there was a 2-way glass tinted mirror wall separating my beautiful living room, and just the light fixtures are so beautiful. The built-in wall unit, like, and then you go look on the other side. It was another living room on the other side of this 2-way tinted mirror. Jeez. So if the lights were on one side, you couldn't see anything. Like, it was like That's cool. Like an interrogation room kind of thing. So you're on the other side. So what I used to always do is like, this is the thing. This is why I was so off, like, as far as like my priorities, is because I did have a lot of friends. Luckily, I was so fortunate to have a lot of awesome friends. Okay, like, I had a lot. I was blessed to have the amount of friends and the quality of friends that I had growing up, and even just like after high school and like even through that period. And like, how can I put it, man? Like, I'd have the biggest parties. Like, it's not even funny. Like, I'm talking like 75 to 100 people. I go on I go on the mic at the DJs would always like, give me the mic after. Actually, the DJ would let me rock a rap song. It was called Rump Shaker by Rex and Effects.
Amazing.
And then after that, I would always call out the party. So I'd say the party's at my house. If you don't know my phone number after 3 o'clock, you're not getting in. But up till 3, it's open house. Let's go. So everybody at the bar, would show up. So I'd always have people coming over. So my college experience was really cool.
That's a good way to do it for anybody who.
Anybody that wants to throw down a house party or
still control.
Use the DJs to your full advantage. They're there to help. And the DJs can come and spin too. Like not that they ever did. I didn't think of that. Why didn't I ever think of that?
Yeah, get them to spin. Just like, hey, it's what we have here, but upstairs, different vibe.
So there you go. You're already like learning from my my mistakes. Let's go chronologically though. Like at that point, I started school. I loved it. I was doing it like I had a couple buddies that were giving me that experience, that vibe that I needed. Like, because other than that, it was kind of boring. It was kind of dead. Like, it wasn't how I expected it to be. Like, when you're watching 90210 or like Animal House or Revenge of the Nerds, like especially Revenge of the Nerds, like those movies, like those ones. But like, you look at these and you're just like, oh, I can't wait until college, and then you get there and it's like, I don't know. It was. I made the best of what I could. Like that's basically what you can do. Like you can either be negative about it or you can be positive. I tried to stay as positive as I could. I had fun, but like I really discovered myself and my talents. So when I was there, there was a friend of mine that was in one of my classes, and she's actually a business owner in town. Her name's Kelsey Cudinello.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And she said to me, "There's this VJ searches going on," and she's like, I think you'd be fucking perfect for this. She's like, I think you should enter. But she's like, you gotta hurry because it's almost like registration's almost done.
It's always how it is.
So I ended up looking and I'm like, oh my god, it ends today. What do you know? And I ended up submitting like an entry, and it was just like off the cuff. I wasn't thinking too much of it. I submitted a video and a picture and just like a brief description of me and what I've done and some stuff, and
nice.
I submitted. I must have been the last person to enter the contest. It had already been live for about 3 weeks, but I put it in, and next thing you know, I'm in this race, and I didn't realize like until like about a week of me being in this competition that I was like gaining traction, like picking up on the leaders. So I started.
How did that happen? You think? What do you have? What is?
Well, Sudbury's pretty supportive, like. Town.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's small in the grand scheme of things. Of like, you look at the board, it says 160,000 people, but that's 160,000 people that are like in a tight knit situation. Like,
I guess so.
Dense, where it's like,
it's true.
Everything else is all spread out, and like you can. I don't even know how to put it. Like you can live in Toronto and. Each block is a different city.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It's just like they have their own different like places they go, where they go, and their vibe, and like where they travel, and that's it. Not necessarily a lot of people,
one vibe.
Yeah. So you can get a lot of support from a smaller community when everybody kind of knows each other. It's 6 degrees of separation too. Like if I don't know you personally, I know somebody that you know, and it kind of like, especially with Facebook, you could see that.
Especially with Facebook, yeah.
And this was like when the Facebook first just started, so I had that to my advantage. Like, this is back in 2009, I believe. This is like 2007.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. So we're jumping from 2003 when I started like school. I think it was 2003.
Yeah.
So I had taken. Did I take time off at this point? Yeah, I had taken time off school at one point because I was just partying too hard. Mm-hmm. And that was the priority, and just everybody was partying. No, for real. And it was just so much fun, and I forget what it was. There was something that, it was just partying, and I took about a year off, and then I went back, and then when I went back, that's when I did the VJ search. But yeah, so the VJ search is kicking in. I'm getting all this momentum, and it's like, holy shit, like I got something here. So I started campaigning. So I started really actually asking people to vote, and asking people to participate in this process.
Yeah. So one thing, I hate to cut you off, can you explain to people who might not know what that is?
Oh, the VJ search. Okay, so in back in 2009 there was I forget when it was, 08 or 09, one of the two, but there was like a void they had to fill because Leah Miller, she was a VJ and she was gone, and they had to replace her. Well, not necessarily her, but her position. So they put out a VJ search, and in the process of doing that, you had 400 people from. Well, it wasn't limited. But
what's VJ?
A VJ is a video jockey. A video. So that's
I wouldn't have guessed that. I was trying to piece it together.
A VJ is somebody that was like throwing the videos. So like you watched Much Music, and if they had a video program on, just playing nothing but music videos, they were the person that was telling you which video was next. And
whoa.
This and that. So it was cool. It was like you were a host, but Much Music went to more television and other stuff and like talk and not as much music. So you would have been doing a lot of all that stuff. So they would have used you for more of your personality than.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's cool. So I was going for this. I was striving for this, but I didn't. Yeah, so I ended up entering, but I didn't think I was going to even be close. So I ended up getting traction. I started campaigning. Turns out that I'm in the top 5 of the people. Like I'm starting to get closer. No, I'm getting closer and closer and closer. The votes are going, and I'm looking through the different votes, and it's like now they're showing like now I'm in like top 3. Like now I'm like in top 2. And now there's this one.
I can win this thing.
Yeah, I'm like I could totally fucking win this thing. So then it's getting close. Now I'm literally sitting in the 2nd position. There's 1 day left. I'm in number 2. Everybody's like showing mad support. Everybody's like, "Okay, you got this. I can't believe it. You got this."
We're betting on the winning horse.
So I even had so the day of the reveal when Much Music was calling everybody to tell them like you're going to be on the show, like you're going to be on the show for the top 10. Like we're gonna throw down a reality show. You're in, and the winner takes all kind of thing. I have my buddy OB, you know Mike O'Brien, Mickey O'Brien? Yeah. Okay, so he comes over with his significant other at the time, and we're all in the living room, we're all ready, the TV's on, we're waiting for the call. They're going through the people, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They make it to like the 9th person, and I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Like, they're really going to wait till like the last for me? Come on, are you serious? And they call out another name, and it's like, yo, what's up? How come I didn't get, you know, like, why? And then they're calling these people, but then halfway through, I already kind of had a feeling in my gut that it wasn't going to happen because I started to realize that all the people was coordinated. Like they knew they were getting the call. Like they had a camera there and they had the camera ready. So I'm like, okay, well, so they already know. So like I didn't get no memo. So I'm like,
there's no camera here.
So now I'm embarrassed because I got my friends here. Like, and I lived with my buddy. I don't know if you know Josh Cooney, but I was living with him.
No.
Him literally. Wait a minute. Okay, so I had moved from the loft at that place. So this is after. So I've already moved 2007. Okay, so the loft about Peddlers, I was there for 2001 to 2007. I remember because I carved my name in the top, and it's probably still there.
Peddlers, by the way, everybody, is an Irish, very popular Irish pub and bar in town.
Yeah, it's on Cedar Street. It's right downtown. Yeah. It's actually, I haven't been there in years, but it's a really dope spot, and they got good steak from what I remember. I know they've remodeled quite a bit. And they got axe throwing and stuff like that, but I haven't been there since they have axe throwing.
No kidding, man.
But yeah, so like I'm saying I had the people that I lived in my buddy's house, and he's there with his wife, and they're looking at me. They weren't married at the time, but that's not the important thing. But there's people there to celebrate this win that I was supposed to have, like at least to be in the show. And they stiffed me. So from that point on, I just kind of had like this rebel mentality. Like I don't give a shit anymore. Like I'm not playing this like.
It was like mid-20s that happened roughly.
Probably 27, 28, 28,
mid-late
27.
Yeah, mid-20s.
Yeah.
23, 27, mid-20s.
Yeah, I would say. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm sick of playing by the book. I'm sick and tired of being, you know, like just doing everything the right way just to appease to these authoritative figures
that have already figured it out.
Of Much Music. Well, no, I'm just thinking like I was playing the game. I was playing the game the right way. So I thought there was a right way to like do things like the right way, but there's not, especially in that field, in that industry. So I learned like they weren't even really looking to replace, like to even give me a chance. I was 27. Everybody that was doing the show was like 18, 19. Literally, like that's why they had the youthful thing going on. Yeah. But I had the nation and the city, but the city had a lot of pull on that. But there was other people that were voting too, and I had their support. Sure. So why not give a guy a chance? You know, why discriminate? So I was discriminated against straight up, Much Music, and I hope that this totally like, how can I put it? I hope this deters me from future like working with you guys in the future, Much Music, because like you're whack. That's all I gotta say. So but that's what I rolled with, and I embrace that. I embrace that mentality. Mm-hmm. So what did I do with that? For some reason, I guess people gravitated towards the campaign and just who I was, and started to get to know me throughout that. So I started getting these offers for like different jobs, like pertaining to like entertainment and hip hop and rap and like
dude, amazing,
and like different avenues. Like record labels were hitting me up to like to start working with them and stuff, and it was really dope. And yeah, so that was a really cool experience, but it got me a lot of eyes on me. So at that point is where I started to realize, like, okay, I kind of got like something here. Like I got some kind of like something. And I didn't know what it was necessarily, but I'm like, I got something, and I got to roll with it. So it's like somebody gives you the ball, you roll with it. Johnny Depp was talking about it in his deposition when he was doing his little trial. I saw snippets here and there. And
his little trial.
Like, well, this monumental trial. But
he was the number one most trending thing of 2020.
I think it surpassed like even like the O.J. Simpson trial.
Oh, hands down.
But yeah. So like, but I did get a few tidbits. I got a few tidbits out of it that I thought were valuable. Like I do with everything that I see. I try to extract
like anything
I could find valuable out of it. Like, I even extracted something from Charles Manson. He was saying something in an interview where he was saying when he's in prison and he's like locked in that shitty situation.
Yeah.
He says that they've imprisoned his body but not his mind. So in his mind he's off in a beach somewhere, and he's just like, I'm like, oh, well, that actually makes fucking perfect sense. So whenever I'm sitting in a situation where like I'm not happy and I'm not really, or a lot of times I'm in a situation like that where it's like I don't want to be in my environment that I'm in, and it's like, okay, well, I can just put my mind elsewhere. As far as the whole VJ thing, and it just made me realize, okay, I'm playing by my rules now. Yeah. So
by doing that, you created like other opportunities were found with this. Missed one.
Not only found, but I was given the fire and the fuel to go after these opportunities where I would maybe be more passive and less aggressive towards them. But you know what?
Yeah.
I used it, and I used that ball. That's where we were. The ball. The whole analogy with Johnny Depp. Somebody gave him the ball and he rolled with it. That's how he kind of described his whole career. Like, he was once given a ball and he rolled with it, and that's all he did. So I was given a ball. I decided, you know what, I'm going to roll with this. So I ended up, just for some reason, things just started happening. So I ended up being outside of the Colson one night, and I was just hanging out, and I saw Bobby McIntosh. He's like lead singer for, well, it was Project Wise, and then it was Dead Celebrity Status.
Yep.
But him and Yas Talat. So I was talking to him, and I was just hanging out, and then we started spitting freestyles all of a sudden, and then...
What's Yas's Instagram handle?
Is it Yas on the Run?
Okay, it is the person I was thinking about. Yeah,
like he's producing movies now.
Yeah, he is who I was thinking about.
But
like, that sounds familiar.
But back then they were actually going to university. They were finishing off their university degrees, and they were in Sudbury.
There's the two of them. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd already had their deals with Sony. And they had their deals with Bulldog Music and all this. Like, they had several major label record deals. Mm-hmm. They were just, obviously wanted to have a plan of action, and they got their degrees and stuff. And in the process of doing so, I met Bobby outside of the Colson, and we just started talking, and I kicked some freestyles. He was like, "Yo, why don't you come hang out?" Because I knew his girlfriend at the time. Nice. And we just went and hung out, and yeah, it was dope. And in the process of doing that, we became really good friends. And then he introduced me to Yas.
Cool.
And then he's like, "Yo, you got to talk to this guy. Like, this guy's." He told Yas this. He's like, "Yo, you got to meet this guy."
Yeah. So
I ended up meeting him and Yas, and they ended up that summer of whatever. They ended up saying, "Yo, man, like, you want to be." Like our tour manager.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yo,
wild, dude. Yeah.
So these guys, I'm like, holy shit, man! That's I was a huge fan of these guys, like, because I remember when they first got signed by Sony, the very, very first time, and I remember they were in town, and like the limo was outside of the Grand, and I remember seeing Bobby. He's like, yo, man, we got signed for real. I'm like, yeah, that's dope. And then I just remember how excited I was for these guys, and I just followed their career, and it was just like, they were just so good, and I just loved their music, like, because I was all down with their music before going to the punk shows and stuff, because that's what it was all about. Like, that's even how they kind of crafted their sound, because they had to showcase their music somewhere, so they were like collaborating with musicians, and in the process they developed this crazy sound that was like no other. Yeah. They killed it, man. Like, when they walked into a room, you knew like that you were in for a show, like, and they're still to this day, as far as I'm concerned, like, best 2-man show you'll ever find. When you watch these two guys, it's electric. It's just unbelievable.
Like the chemistry, the entertainment,
and even that is another reason why I never rapped. Another reason why I didn't rap and decide to rap is because I knew those guys and I knew what it took to get to that level.
And you're like,
and I'm like, not to say like I gave up, but I knew that
it wasn't in the cards for you.
Yeah, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze for me. Yeah, it wasn't. That makes sense. It wasn't for me. Like, we had to talk before a little bit briefly, but yeah, like I don't know. I got the opportunity to be tour manager, and then from that, it was like, that was dope, because I got to not only like be mentored by like like these guys that I looked up to like my whole, for like 10, 15 years. I'm like, holy shit, man, like,
that's
it's crazy. So I got to learn everything like a sponge. I was taking it all in, and I was really passionate about the music, like, because back when I was 10 years old, man, like, I met KRS-One. Okay, like, I lived in Cambridge, and I went to Centennial Public School, and it was dope. He came to our school. My librarian's daughter was KRS-One's fiance, and if you're not familiar with KRS-One, he's like one of the guys that invented hip hop from New York. Like, he's like, if you look him up, you'll see he's like, you got like people's top 5 or top 10. KRS-One's always in the top 5 or top 10. So I met him. He came to our school. He gave our class an assignment to spit bars for him. So he came in on the Monday. Mm-hmm. On the Friday, he left. And I'm like, okay, that's dope. This was our rap when we were a kid. So my buddy Anil is on the beatbox. He's going, My name is Anil and I come from Brazil. My name is Jamal and I'm not too tall. My name is Ricky and I have an Aunt Nikki. My name is Derek and I have a brother Eric. We stole her pearls, then she lied. Then she told that big fat lie. We told the girl that she lied. Then we said, stand outside. That made us really mad. Then we felt big and bad. We went outside, ready to fight with that girl in our sight.
Let's go.
So we split that for Karis One. So I'm saying, like, and that's
I'm impressed that you remember
that's
that.
going to come full circle too when you hear the rest of.
How
like,
often a week do you rehearse that?
Rehearse that? Well, my name is Anil and I come from Brazil. My name is Jamal and I'm not too tall. My name is Ricky and I have an. You don't forget.
You don't forget it.
And it was so impactful because I was lucky enough to know who he was. Me and Anil knew because Anil used to watch Rap City, and Anil was my boy. So I kind of knew who he was. I knew who Kumo D was. Yeah. I knew, and like, it was dope. So I met him, and it made the biggest impact on me. So from that time forward, hip hop was my thing. So when I moved to Sudbury, it was a huge shock because Sudbury was a rock town, country town.
Yeah.
No, like I had to like. Well, I represented, so I didn't even front. Like I listened to my rap. But, like I did get ridiculed by a lot of people for the fact that I would listen to rap.
Really?
Yeah, and it wasn't like in a racial. It wasn't like in a racial thing. It was just like, yo, that's whack. Why are you listening to that shit, man? Like you should be listening. But don't get me wrong. I listen to rock. I listen to punk. I listen to everything.
You're just your preference.
My preference is predominant. Like
that's
it was hip hop. That's because of that experience. So it goes a long way. So whenever like you're doing stuff for kids, if you ever go like visit a classroom or you're doing stuff, it goes a long way. Especially like if you're doing like MMA and like they're fans of yours and it's unbelievable how far that can go. So make a long story short, I'm doing this rap thing now with these guys, and I'm so into the rap that it's like this is the dream come true for me now. Now I'm doing this tour managing thing. We're going like so when you go into the city, like basically you're the lead act, and then you get to meet all the opening acts. So you get to meet all the dope MCs that are all in the cities. Like so you get to meet all the best DJs, MCs, promoters.
Wow.
You get to meet all those people that are intertwined in this whole life that you're trying to lead. Because I wanted to be the Jerry Maguire of the industry. That's what I want to do. I wanted to be like the way Jerry Maguire was in that movie with his athletes and just how he had that persona where like they were family, they were hugging, and it wasn't about the money, it wasn't about the bottom line, it was about the art and the passion of like that's what I was about, and I still am to this day, and that's why I think I'm still doing stuff. I'm still to this day, like I'm talking about stuff like 13, 14, 15 years ago, but I'm still doing stuff to this day because of the way in which I went about it. And that's the thing. If anybody can extract anything out of this whole experience that I'm giving you through this podcast, it's never sacrifice quality for money or for a sale for anything, because at the end of the day, no, for real, at the end of the day, don't sacrifice quality for money for a sale, because you got to be able to look at yourself in the mirror at the end of the day, and that's the one thing that you can't buy. Money can't buy that, and the money will dry up, the money will be gone, it'll come and it'll go, or you can invest it or whatever, or it can accumulate or whatever, but at the end of the day, I find what's more valuable is being able to look at myself in the mirror and the relationships that I build. So every relationship that I ever built throughout the course of this whole timeline that I'm talking to you about right now, I have never once sacrificed quality for the bottom line. There was times where I walked away from a project because it wasn't morally or ethically right, and it didn't feel right, or because I was going to step on somebody else's toes who I had a personal relationship with. And that's why I think to this day now, okay, so I was doing that. Now I'm a transit operator. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but I drive for the city. I've been doing it for 10 years now. It'll be 10 years in May. I'm a full-time transit bus driver, so I do that full-time. And it's the scheduling is grueling. It's very demanding, but it's there. It's fixed, so I can work around it. So I'm right now I'm dabbling in stuff. Like I'm doing different things. Like I host parties. I host events.
Nice.
I host. Recently, I just did the Pros versus Joes at the Sudbury Arena, which is like a charity basketball game with the Sudbury 5 basketball players and like some local business leaders and people that are like business professionals and like local personalities, celebrities. You know what I mean? Sure. So they all like played at the Sudbury Arena, and that's huge for me because like I'd never rocked anything that size. So I'm rocking. It was like 2,500 people plus, and I was out in the middle of the court and doing it under this Easy Rick persona that I'm in with the shades and everything, and it was just nice to be able to do it as Easy Rick, as the Easy Rick persona, and the way I wanted to do it. Like I worked, like we worked together to put this thing, like as far as like, well, Logan basically put the script together as far as like how because you were at the game, you saw how there was like different things like Howler and them, they were going one-on-one, and the players came out with the hockey stick, the football play, and like the chug contest with the coaches and everything like that. So all this stuff was all put together. It was all great, and You know, like it was nice to be able to apply like what I've basically built, this brand I've built of the Easy Rick brand, my MC brand, to be able to utilize at that level. So now I've done that. 5 Cent City is another one. Christian Robertson, the guy I was telling you about, he's been running it. It'll be the 5th one this year, the 5th and final. But the dope thing about it is he gave me the opportunity, and 5 years ago I wasn't going to put the mic down. I wasn't even going to do it because I've been primarily just been a father for the past 10 years. Like, this has been my thing, man. So for the past 10 years, it's been my primary focus, and we'll come back to that. That's gonna
let's circle back for sure, please.
But yeah, so like it's just like, so back in the day, I got these opportunities. So I got a chance to be the tour manager. Got a chance to do a lot of hip hop shows. We're talking like Summerfest. We're doing festivals. We're going to like London, Thunder Bay. We're going all over. Like we're going like just all these different places. And like I said, I'm networking. I'm making progress like in that department, and we've got social media now. So now we can track our progress. We can document it. So now I'm making a track record now. Now I'm thinking, okay, I'm not done school. I gotta finish school. So I went back to school. I'm doing that. So the whole time that all this is happening, I'm still trying to knock out my work, not my work, but my school. But at the same time I'm doing all this, I'm driving for Lockerbie Taxi.
Right. And
Lockerbie Taxi gave me the flexibility to be able to work whenever I wanted.
No way.
So
nice.
I mostly work on the weekends, so it was mostly Friday, Saturday, Sundays. Friday, Saturday nights I'd make a killing. Like I'd make like so much money, it's not even funny, with tips, and just I'd freestyle rap in the cab and just like, oh
dude,
buddy,
so all these people doing it on their Ubers now. You were doing it before even Uber was existed.
Well, actually MC Mars out of San Francisco was the OG. He's the guy I look up to as far as
you had me. I was like all these people that rapping in their Ubers.
The tips were crazy because I was and I had a like was it Impalas? I had like brand new Impala, so I'm driving that around. The stock stereo was sick. So I'm busting these instrumentals and I'm freestyling and people are loving it. Think about it. The college students are loving it. They're flipping me. They're giving me so many, like the tips are nuts. So I was doing that while I'm in school.
Wild.
So, but it gave me the ability to be able to have the flexibility to be able to go do like a CD release party, a video shoot, because like that's the thing. So Yas had to go. This is a huge part of this whole process. And by the way, all this stuff I'm telling you about it's not like I'm saying, oh, you do this, you're going to be able to do this. I'm like Mr. Horseshoe. Like, honestly, a lot of it's luck. I think it's preparation, luck, passion, and but I can't necessarily say do it this way and you can attain this.
No, but what I think, check this out. What I think when I hear the way that your story is how it's been developing, I think what happened and what a lot of test is, I think so one quote that I stood out from, I think is, and I'm sure you've seen the show, like Rhythm and Flow. Yeah. Yeah, of course.
The show or the movie?
The show.
Okay, the show. With like T.I. Oh, yeah, okay, let's go, let's go.
So there's a quote Chance said that, oh no, not Chance, sorry. There's a quote T.I. said, there was like a one line he said at one point that was like, he was leaving the barbershop of one of like the first episodes where he was in Atlanta, and he was leaving, and on his way out he goes, is like, success is when preparation meets opportunity. And I think what happened is you were always finding, like you found success in these things as you were going through. But I think what it was is you had the passion, which drove the preparation. And then when you're doing something for so long, opportunity just, hey, let's see. Oh, it works. Like there was the opportunity of becoming you were second in the JV search, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
the VJ
second in the voting process. The voting process.
Exactly,
like, I got
right?
second amount of votes across Canada.
That took place. And there was an opportunity. And okay, well, for whatever reasons, I'm not sure. God only knows what those reasons were. That was unsuccessful. But then that opportunity led to others. Right, that you were able to kind of go for, and then the tour ended up being in the right place.
You mean like the whole where one door closes, another one opens kind of thing?
Exactly.
So you
might be so tunnel visioned on one thing, but not realizing what happened. In the greater
scope, grand scheme of things. That's right.
And looking how everything is. So I think that's
and it's hard to when you're in the middle of the bubble.
You almost can't, because then I think when you do that and you're like, oh, let's see all these things, you take your foot off the gas. And that was like, you're like, oh, fuck that, man. I wouldn't be number one
That's
in
why
this
it's good to have on your team or in
Yeah.
your corner people that are not yes men and people that are going to give it to you straight up, because you can bypass a lot of bullshit,
Oh, most of it, if not all of it.
if not all of it.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that are looking at from the outside in as opposed from the inside out, so
Yeah.
they can see a lot of
Like,
things more
listen, man.
introspectively than you can.
And I think those people come in and help really well, especially when you're at that point of you might feel like, what the hell? I got my
yeah, so
friends
those
sitting
people,
here.
I just want you to know I love you
Yeah.
all. I'm just saying, like, if for
Oh,
some reason I miss
absolutely.
any of you along the lines here, I'm just trying to... I'm doing the best I can, but so we're at that point now where
Interesting.
I'm getting like with Yas now. We're going to Toronto,
Mm-hmm.
and he's judging the Ontario. And it's another thing, like through like being a tour manager for Bobby and Yas, like they didn't just perform. Okay, so like they're huge icons in the industry. So like they get asked to go to, like, for example, King of the Dot. Have you ever heard of King of the Dot battle
yeah.
rap? Like they're
Yeah.
like the top battle rap
No
organization
kidding,
in the
eh?
world. So Yas used to go
Jesus.
there and judge the battles. So I used to go there with him, accompany him, go in the green room, hang out, meet all my favorite battle rappers. It was crazy. And then he'd judge the battles, and like in that environment, like that was like heaven. Like if there's heaven on earth, it's a
That's
King of
what
the
it was
Dot
for you,
event.
yeah.
A King of the Dot event.
Yeah?
The music the DJ plays to
that's
everybody being
wild.
in the crowd, like mouthing all the lyrics to all the music, especially all the golden era shit. Like
Yeah.
you're like, this is my home. You're like I'm here. Am I
Like,
in
this
heaven?
is
Am I,
what we
this
call my element.
so that was cool. So we
Yeah.
ended up going to this other thing where Yas was judging as well. He was a celebrity judge for the Ontario Freestyle Battle Championships, and it was at Circa nightclub in Toronto.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, yeah.
And he was guest judging with Choclair. So Choclair, he's you know who Choclair is? Like he's like
Yeah.
Let's Ride. Like
Yeah.
he's just well, he's got like 2 Junos, 3 Junos, like Much Music Video Awards. He's just
Insane.
decorated, icon. Comes through Sudbury a lot too. He's quite frequent. But the bottom line is, Choclair was at the club, and Yas was at the club, and they were the judges. So we're in the VIP like lounge area. We're all chilling. Everybody's kicking it. I'm like fanning out. I've got a CD that I want Choclair to sign and everything. I'm like, yo, because I had actually opened up
Yeah.
for him back in 2006.
Oh, wow.
A buddy of mine was rapping Moses Black at
Yeah.
Cambrian College, and I was just his hype man. So I was like his backup guys. But in the
Jeez.
process, I met Choclair at that time, got him to sign something, and then whatever. But I brought a CD, his Ice Cold CD. I brought it.
Oh.
So I'm there. I get him to sign it. Whatever. We're all kicking it, and in the process of just hanging out at the club, the night's almost over or whatever, and his producer at the time, his name is G-Vine, Courtney Valentine Brown. This guy's like 6'7", like 260 pounds. The guy's just a force. Like you can see when he walks, you know.
Yeah.
So he's walking around. He just comes up to me. He's like, "Yo, man." He's like, "I can tell you really like this shit, man." Like, no, I'm like, I can tell you're really down with this shit. Like, you're all about this shit for real, aren't you?
Yeah.
And he's like looking at me. He's like, "You're really about this." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Listen." He's like, "I want you to come back to the studio. I want you to come listen to the music. I want to hear what you have to think." I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "But only you." He's like, "Only you can come."
It's terrifying.
And I'm like,
All right.
"Okay."
A little
I'm
intimidating.
like, "Well, listen, I'm with my boy Cheza. I don't know if you know Cheza Miller, but he's a rapper from Sudbury, like hip hop.
Oh,
guy.
sick,
He's,
yeah.
he's more than that. He's a multimedia guy, but definitely like a good buddy of mine from back there. He's a baller too. He balled hard back in LaSalle. But anyways, he came with me. Yas could have came with me. Like Yas could have came. Like that's the thing. Like that's who I was there. My boys could have rolled with me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it ended up being my boy Cheza and then my boy James. He rolled with me. So 2 guys came with me. Yas ended up kicking it with his girl. So he was doing his own thing.
Nice,
He was
yeah.
doing his own thing.
Perfect.
But it turned out that I went back to the studio and we vibed. We listened to some music. We listened to some unreleased Choclair stuff. Mm-hmm. And Choclair ended up coming back. So now we're all kicking it. I'm sitting there with like one of my favorite MCs ever, like for real, like ever. His producer. We're sitting here. I'm thinking to myself, why? Why me?
Yeah, like,
man?
how
Why
am
the
I-
fuck me? Who
Yeah.
the fuck am I? Like, why am
Yeah.
I here? But it's like, I was all about it when I was there. I was like,
They wanted you there.
they knew
That was the
they saw value, I guess, in the sense that like I really was about it. Like I was really not there to get drunk.
You're
I
really
wasn't-
just
I
a
wasn't-
passion-driven
yeah,
machine, eh?
Yeah, I was really about the music. I was really about the hip hop. I was really about why we were there. The whole
Yeah.
purpose of why we were there.
And you can't fake that.
No.
Like zero. You can't
No,
even fake
no,
half of what
no,
you were
no,
emulating.
No. And don't get me wrong, I was
Yeah.
looking to maximize my situation there. So I was like, I also got a chance to meet
Right.
Bishop Brigante, who's also like
Jesus.
big time. Like at the time, he was on Much Music. Like I was watching 2 of his videos were on rotation on Much Music at the time.
Jeez.
When I seen him at the club, so he's there with Choclair. Actually, that's what I forgot. He was there with Choclair and Organic, which is the leader of King of the Dot, because he was battling in this competition. He was supposed to actually be the favorite to win. So it was crazy. So I'm talking. So I'm maximizing. So I'm networking with all these people, and I'm just like every moment was just huge. So at this point, Now I'm starting to go to Toronto like 2 to 3 times a month.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going down there for events, release parties, like whatever function you could possibly imagine. I'm there. I'm hosting events.
Yeah.
Now G-Vine, he's got me hosting events. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. So he tells me that he wants me to work for the label, for the PHS Entertainment, for the production company.
Amazing.
That Choclair's working like that. He's, and at that exact time, they had a song that was in full rotate. Well, going into full rotation on Much Music. Like it was already hit. They got the funding from Video Fact. Casey got the funding for it. Silvadala, what's up? And he wrote the grant proposal for it, and he ended up getting, I think the budget was like 60 grand or something. It was some crazy number, but we ended up killing it, and we ended up going to 6 different locations in Toronto. Like they rented a person's apartment. They had to get out of there. Like while we went and used a kid's bedroom to emulate his kid's room. Went to Princess Anne Theater. Like we had. Unbelievable! Like we went to Dundas Square. We had Dundas Square for like 3 or 4 hours or some shit. It was nuts, man. Like we had like basically Toronto on lock. Like all these places, like all like you pull in, like when you see like when they're shooting movies downtown and stuff, you see. And I'm thinking like this is my first time experiencing this shit. So I'm like, I'm at this video shoot. And I brought my boy Ches, so it was me and Cheza there.
Yeah.
And my boy TJ showed up on day. Was he there earlier that at Jarvis, because we had to shoot a scene at Jarvis Collegiate, which is where he went. I don't think he went there. I think it was just a really good look at school, because I know he went to Pope John Paul.
Yeah.
Choclair. But anyways, bottom line is here I'm going into all the logistics because
I love it.
Because I know all this stuff. I know all the.
I got a question for you at the end before you jump. So.
Yeah. Okay. So so I'm at this video shoot, and I'm working like basically I was the guy that was. Say he's shooting his scene, Choclair's shooting his scene, and they gotta hit the cue of the music so he can pantomime, so he can like rap his part.
Yep.
Well, I'm just sitting there beside him, and I'm the director's telling me to go, and I'm cueing the music at the exact point that he's got to do. So I'm there the whole video shoot with him, like the whole. So I'm like this was the best. It was like the best. So I'm doing all this, and then afterwards I go for Chinese food with G-Vine and the producer of the whole thing, Sean Sensig, and he just tells me like, yo man, like that was dope what you did. Like you did a really good job. He's like, if you ever need any help or anything, he gave me his card. He's like, yo, and he's like, this guy's like a huge Hollywood movie producer. Like this guy, he's like, yo, you like, because I was out there in like a t-shirt and like it was like freezing cold and everybody's like in like parkas, and like there was one point where I was literally in a t-shirt and I was like toughing it out and I'm just like holding the thing and I'm like holding it down and Dundas Square is freezing. But like I'm used to it because I'm from up north, right?
Yeah,
so it's like, but they're like, whoa, bro, like look at that dedication. Yeah. So they saw the promise and the passion and the dedication. So anyways, I utilize this, man. I worked for this organization for a good solid couple of years, anyways.
Nice.
And we ended up putting that video out. It was a high rotation in for Choclair, like for that. And then like obviously he's always been touring, like that's never stopped. So I got a chance to work close hand with like he had a tour manager at the time. His name was Mike Moves.
Oh, cool, yeah.
So I ended up being mentored by him, I guess you could say, and we worked close hand. Like he taught me a lot of what to do with the industry and like with what to do as far as like booking shows and representing artists and managing talent. And through that, I ended up like booking a lot of talent with him. Like for example, Bishop and Maestro Fresh West. If you know who Maestro Fresh West is, like he's huge.
Really?
He's doing huge like right now. He's on like 3 TV shows right now. Maestro. He's killing it right now. But anyways, like I got the chance to work like with all these people, like book shows for like Bishop, book shows for Choclair, book shows for Maestro, book shows, and learn the business and learn the history. And through all of this is where the whole full circle thing with the KRS-One comes into play. Mike Moves, and so I'm working. I hate having to jump into it like this, but by this time, I'm working for another record label. Okay, they're called 682 Records, and I'm basically given like a amazing opportunity to work alongside with the owners Trevor and Lynn Johnson, and Mickey O'Brien was like in the house band, I guess you would call it. Like,
sick.
They had like a band they launched called Kill the Autocrat, which was dope. They had Scott Swain on a lot of the music, who's from like Far From Heroes and stuff like that. Like really good. Like so, they had this record label, and I worked for them. I was doing their PR, their marketing, communications.
Yeah.
I was pushing CDs out of the cab, man. No, seriously, I'm
Jeez,
But listen, so
like
they also had shared in the same passion and the same kind of vision that I did with regards to hip hop, and they wanted to fast track in the music industry tenfold. Like, so what we did was Mike Moose had this opportunity to release a KRS-One album. So he brings it to the table. He comes from Toronto, stays at my house. We set up the deal. Deal's like totally like we knocked it down. So we ended up releasing the first KRS-One, the first Boogie Down Productions album, BDP LP, in 20 years. KRS-One's been releasing music ever since he started, but the KRS-One Bumpy Knuckles, it's a royalty check album.
Jeez.
And then from that, Trevor and Lynn ended up also releasing Say.X. So these guys are all, if you look them all up, you'll see, if you check their videos,
that's literally what I'm
they're
going
dope,
to.
they're dope as fuck, I'm telling you, like, they're
I'm
so
excited.
dope. And like, so I bring that, like, to them, they're interested, they end up launching it, they literally, like just take like the underground hip hop world by storm, really, and they launched the site, and like they really, like, it's just amazing. They fast track because now they've got basically all these amazing pioneers in the hip hop game released under their thing. So now it's the home of KRS-One, Freddie Fox, like, it's all happening, and I'm like, I was part of this, so I was part of like this thing that like literally helped preserve like hip hop.
Amazing.
Right? So this real shit, and it's happening out of Sudbury, like, and all this stuff's happening, so cool. And like, I'm so thankful for like Trevor and Lynn being able to facilitate that, and to be able to even give me an opportunity. Like, all these people that gave me these opportunities, like Bobby and Yas, like, these are all people that are, how can I put it? Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm humbled every day when I go out. Like, every time I meet somebody, I'm humbled by what everybody's capable of doing. I'm not saying any of these people are superior to anybody. I'm just saying in their respective fields of what they do, and what I'm going for. And like, in entertainment, for example, these guys were all signed. Okay, so they co-signed me and said, okay, let's make you tour manager. You know how huge that is to say, that's like, wild, to achieve what you've achieved, and allow me to attach my name to that. You see
the value in
but to allow me to, like, I'm not saying coattails, because I was never ever looking at it for leverage to surpass them.
Well, here's the thing.
Level.
Let's put a pause on that. So I think what I want to interject with that, because I think there's something to be said for. And I was talking to somebody about this a while ago. Is in terms of authenticity and how you're able to make those connections and make the most out of those opportunities. Was, I think, when you look at it, intent is huge when you do something, right? And I want to say this, like, again, when you do something with the right intention, I think that's when it's authentic. It's driven by, like we talked about a few minutes ago, and what you're talking about now is, like, with the passion being, like, driving the opportunities, and what's making the most out of them for you is the passion that drove it. And I think if you went into it with the intent of, all right, oh, that's Yas, okay, I'm gonna make sure I talk to him, and when I talk to him, I get, like, there's no, it's not transactional, right? It's, I'm gonna go in, lead with passion, and make the most of,
like Jerry Maguire did, because he just wanted to get them the best deals. He wanted to make sure what was best for his players, but he also wanted to do it like he was his brother.
But you're give. No,
it's always been give. It's always been give.
But it was reciprocated.
You know what? Now I'm finding it's becoming reciprocated. Yeah. Like, now, later in life, like, but it was. Don't get me wrong. I don't ever felt like I was being exploited or used in these situations. No. I gained so much valuable experience. I was compensated monetarily when I was doing things that pertain to,
as
like,
you should be.
You know, like for example, we shot a video for Kill the Autocrat in Toronto. I was compensated to be a set coordinator. You know what I mean? Like, and put up, like, in the hotel and this and that, like. And the rental car, and like, it was great. Like 682 Records was a great company to work for. Yeah. G-Vine, PHS, those guys in Toronto, like, love you, G-Vine, love you, baby. All these guys, okay, I'm telling you, and one day, I'm telling you, I'm going to introduce you to all these guys because you have that energy. I'm telling you that right now. You have that.
Thanks, man.
Oh.
I fucking appreciate that a lot, man.
I wouldn't just throw that out there, especially on camera, especially when something that's probably going to be public. But it's like, that's a whole different ballgame. The whole Cosmic Tip is a different thing that G-Vine runs. But, like, I'm just saying, like, these guys gave me the confidence. Like, I've been able to MC, for example, Shaw Claire's, like, wife back in the day, she had a birthday party. I MC'd her birthday party. Yeah. I MC'd like, hip hop shows at clubs in Toronto, like, in front of like packed crowds, and these guys are giving me the mic, giving me the ball, and I rolled with it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the whole Johnny Depp thing is coming. So I've just been doing a lot of running with the ball, and now I'm at a point. But now I'm at a point where I'm ready to get the ball more because my son Oscar. Mm-hmm. He's 10 now, and he's starting to get more buddies, and he's on the phone more, and he's setting more play dates, and he doesn't need me as much because for the past 10 years, I've been nothing but straight up like dad. Work and dad, and that's basically it. Like, I mean, I do have a group of guys I meet up with quarterly on a quarterly basis.
Before we go into that and the men's group and fatherhood, I do want to circle back. So, do you have any advice in terms of when you were tour manager, when you were working in Toronto, and you were working with all these people you admired and looked up to, who you didn't know prior to, like, you connected with them through, like, you being in the right place, the right time, and
like
being a real person. So check this out. My question, I really want to know: do you have any advice for people who want to learn, or like to network, like networking advice specifically? Because it sounds like, and take a second, because I think it sounds like that when you went and did all that, like, what were your cold approaches? Like, it was passion driven, but there had to have been, like, you were just ready to meet everybody, or
it was just like, I just knew. I heard a term once, like, triple down on what you're good at. You know, double down on what you're good at. Stop. Not to deter people from going on trying new things and whatever, but like, if your biological clock is ticking and you're running at a time, and you feel as though like you really got to act fast, and the time is now. Yeah. I feel as though it's very, very good practice to double down on what you're good at. So what I was doing was basically doing that. I was doubling down on everything that I was good at, everything that I loved, my passions. Yeah. I was just all about rap music, and I was all about gab and the gift of gab, and just talking and building relationships, and just it was a lot to do with. I just really wanted what was best for hip hop at the end of the day. Like, that's really what the whole end goal, the end game was. I just wanted what was best. And the more that I actually started to be in the industry and be more as it being a job, the more I started to push away from, not the passion, but it started to become more of work, and then it started to become more. My eyes started to open about what really was, like what the real behind the scenes stuff is, as opposed to what you see on TV. So what everybody sees as far as strategic communication. So everything you see, whether it's print, broadcast, via radio or television, it's all a message that's been strategically put together by somebody that's already weighed out who the audience is and how they're looking to interact and how they're looking to captivate that audience. And it's all there. They've already went about the evaluation process and what's going to go bad and what's going to go good, and they've already sculpted this message geared towards you, and that's everything that you see on those platforms I'm talking about. So whenever you get, like, I don't know, opportunities to, I don't know, not go outside of those things, but use those things, but genuinely. Yeah. How can I say? Like,
no, that makes sense.
But at the end of the day, man, you kind of nailed it. It's like, you got to go out with just passion. You got to go out with a genuine, just love for it, and that's where everything else falls into place. And if you do it, like you said it, man, you got to go out there looking to just give and not receive. It's got to be something where you're looking to
humongous.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that afterwards. Yeah. But now that you're putting it in perspective like that, now I'm realizing it was very selfless. Yeah, very selfless.
It seems exactly like that's what you did.
And that transition.
What makes you think that? And one sec, sorry, I hate to cut you off. The one thing that you did that you mentioned that made me go. You had an out of body experience where, and I find myself doing this every now and then with certain guests who I've had on, and I'll look and go, like, why me? Or like, how the fuck did I get here? Like, how am I in these shoes? All my friends are based because of the podcast. All of this is because I did this thing. I'm talking to this person because I just happen to have a platform and they believe in what the message I'm trying to deliver is. And I'm like, how? So for you, when you told me you had that experience, that was... Because if it was transactional, you're like, aha, we're right on schedule. Yeah. Right? Yeah, so for you to have that out-of-body, like, self-reflective moment in that time allowed me, listening to that, to go, oh, it's definitely passion-driven. There's no, like, aha, okay, well, I'm going to Yas going to introduce me to this, and then it's and it's very, very, and especially for, like, people like you, people like myself, and other people I've had on the show, or just friends of ours who haven't or we don't know, right? Check this out, when they say something in a sense of, it's easy, a few people have told me, they're like, it's easy as hell to sniff out any BS ever, right? Like, it's very, very easy to sniff out people who aren't authentic. Yeah, and genuine. Yeah, man. It's very, very easy to sniff out people who aren't genuine. So when you're doing it and you have that, like, man, how am I talking to you right now? Like, this is crazy to me. You're like, how am I in this studio? And I was invited because the guy liked the energy, or how I was like, he liked the vibe. He didn't even talk to me, and he wanted me to join him in the studio privately, like, this is crazy. So for you to have that moment, and that definitely, like, that paired with that guy didn't smell any BS. He was just like, this is a passion-driven dude who just really, really leads with that, hard on the sleeve for what he was doing. And that, I think, is, like, the secret to any, like...
And it was a two-way street, too. Like, all these people that were helping me, that I was helping as well, like, it was a two-way street. Like, there was no... I didn't see anything disingenuous in what they were doing either.
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't feel as though I was being manipulated. I didn't feel as though I was being... how can you say, exploited?
Oh, for sure.
For, like, my abilities and my talents and what I was able to bring to the table. Because
absolutely, yeah.
At the end of the day, everybody was able to bring something to the table, but it all came down to the family aspect, and which is why right now, even, like, 10 years since I've been a father and since I've been primarily focused on that, I still have the Rolodex, for lack of a better term, but I mean, I still have my database of my buddies and my friends and my network of people that I've accumulated over the years that I could literally pick up a phone call. I still keep in contact with Choclair. I still keep in contact with Yas, Bobby. I actually emceed Yas's wedding.
That's hilarious.
I emceed Yas's wedding. I'm supposed to MC Bobby's wedding. It just got postponed because of COVID. Unfortunately, there was COVID postponed it. But I'm supposed to do Bobby's wedding. I did the 5 Cent City, so I've been doing. I'm still staying active. But now it's going to be even more so now. So now, because I didn't lead with the whole the bad intentions, and not necessarily bad, because who's to say that somebody that's trying to be advantageous of a situation is bad? It's just mine are a little more genuine in the sense that I'm not looking to get anything back. So
right, I like that you said it doesn't have to be ill intent, but you're like, it's still.
But what you see is what you get. So like that guy, for example, that guy that's usually the snake. Typically, he's not going to be like. He's going to be up front of your face and going to be like, okay, we're going to get the points. We're going to get this. He's the guy that's going to have the Rolex. He's the guy that's going to have the SUV.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? As opposed to the guy that's a little more humble. That's a little more, that's why people love Adam Sandler and gravitate to Adam Sandler.
Well, because I think that's always been him before he was famous, after he's famous, and during he's famous, right?
And Keanu Reeves, he's getting that same thing too from the media, because it's just like he rides the subway.
He's the same person. He's like, why
J.
would
Cole
I throw
rides
off
a
my
bike.
routine?
Like it's like
weird.
No, but I mean, I'm all about that too, though. I like the real. That's why I liked the Joe Rogan thing when it first started. Now I realize that he's such a huge entity that. Do I think it's really, like that's another story, it's a whole can of worms, but like, but I like the whole part where it's like, you see the guy literally on his program, have an opinion, have somebody else that's an expert talk to him, see him evaluate his own thought process, and then adapt. Yeah. And it's just, I like that. I like the realness. And that's why I'm not really a cartoon guy. I'm not really a sci-fi guy. I love horror, but like when it comes to like all that, I like more real stuff. I like more documentaries. I like stuff like that. If I'm going to invest my time nowadays, not to say I wasn't like that before, but these days when time is so restricted, I like to keep with something that's more real, that can either, something that's like, that can help me with regards to understand society more, or at least can help me in society more.
Oh, absolutely.
If I can get tidbits out of something to, like, there's lots of stuff. But yeah, so the fatherhood thing though, that's that. It hasn't deterred me, because I've went like full tilt on this fatherhood thing. When I say fatherhood, like, I mean,
how has it affected you?
It's the best. It's like, I wish I would have been a father. I could say that I wish I was a father sooner, because I would have capitalized on a lot more. Like as far as like where I am now in life, like, as far as where my goals are. Like I would have more goals like earlier in life, but now I've got so many goals because of him, and just banging it out. Like, he's 10 now, but like, yeah, man, I couldn't imagine like life without him, because there's so much I look forward to, and just it's unbelievable. Like, I never met my dad, so like that's to me, I don't know. Like I don't know, like, how can I put it?
Interesting.
Like I never met my dad, so when I was growing up,
you're like no frame of reference.
No frame of reference on being a dad.
Yeah. But
I know what I didn't want I didn't want to give to my son as a dad. So like all those areas in which he was not there,
that's fascinating.
I'm so there. Like, I'm so there, and it's like I remember even.
So you knew.
I know how he's thinking when he's his age. Needed. Yeah, and I know how to be there. I know how to be there even more.
Made you better.
Yeah, like better in a sense that I like I'm more attentive. Yeah. I'm definitely like on point and
more aware.
I'm not skipping a beat, and he's definitely not. I'm not making excuses. I've never had to disappoint him.
Nice.
The only time I've ever had to disappoint him in life, and I haven't disappointed him yet, but I promised him we would have a house by the time he was 10, which means like we live in our own house that we own. I currently rent.
Yeah.
But like that's the only time. Everything else he's been able to play sports. He's been able to play sports. He's been able to play like, and we're almost there. Like I'm in the process. Like
it's probably cheaper nowadays.
Because like this year actually at Transit, I don't know if I told you, I was the out of like however many employees, it was like 150 employees or something. I was the top overtime achiever. So I work the most overtime.
Let's
I
go.
I work the most hours.
It doesn't stop, ladies and gentlemen.
That was
the
the goal.
grind does not stop.
But it's because I'm trying to get that goal. I'm trying to achieve that goal. But I'm just saying, like,
I love it.
I've never come up short in anything else. Like anything I've ever promised them, and like, and I'm not saying like you got to like anybody else should be at a certain level of whatever.
Sure.
As long as you love your child and you're there,
sure.
That's all that matters. If you pick up the phone, you call. That's all that matters. You know,
right? Being there.
Like I talk to him 3 times a day. I talk to him, you know, like it's a minimum 3 times a day. Like
nice.
it's just our routine. That's how we are. We're a home team, and it's been my drive, man. It's like but I've changed 100% in the sense that now I'm not living for myself anymore. It's like I live for him because he relies on me. You know. Like, especially when he was first born, like, you think you know what it's like to be a parent until they're born, and then when the child comes, it's like, whoa, this child here literally needs you to survive, or else if you don't, they won't.
Like,
you know,
it's like ball game,
it's a different ball game, so it becomes really real once the baby is out and is there, but yeah, I'm just saying, man, for real, ever since then, it's been the best thing that's ever happened to me. I huge transitional switch. His mother and I do not live together, it's 50-50, but co-parenting is great, we get along really well.
Amazing.
A year and a half is when we had separated, so he was a year and a half, so he's only known this dynamic.
Perfect.
So it's great. Like, they got their house, we got ours, and we get along, everybody gets along so well, like,
that's
so well.
Night and day.
Yeah, even, there was even a point in time, just to not go off topic, but just to show you the dynamic of the level of which life is good right now. Mm-hmm. Like, there was a point in time where his mom's fiance at the time, we took him to a basketball game because we got season tickets to Sudbury 5. We're Sudbury 5 super fans.
Nice.
So we go to all the Sudbury 5 games. Like, that's something that we do all the time. Like, my son and I. Yeah. And even through that, like, that's how I got the opportunity to be to do the pros versus Joes because we're super fans. We go to all the games. Oscar went to all the basketball camps. We're really diehards. Like, where our seats are right behind the team bench, and like,
they're pretty solid
they're
seats.
They're right close, and like. We just, like, the coach, Logan Stutz, and Coach Elliott that we had last year, like, it was great. Like, they've always been great. The account executives have always been great. Just the whole team, like, they let me shoot the $5,000 shot before. Like, I didn't know that was going to happen. This is one of the employees that were there just came up and asked me if I wanted to shoot it. I shot for a car before. That was crazy. Got a chance to do the pros versus Joes.
Would you have to shoot for a car? Like, just...
Well, do you remember Jim Stefanko? He's the guy with the cowbell at all the games. He's like a super fan. So he does the Sudbury Wolves review, the Wolves fan review.
Yeah.
So he sits right beside us. His season tickets are right beside us. Like, so he's at all the games with us. That's how I met him. And we had to shoot 5 free throws and however many free throws you can make in like 30 seconds. Whoever got the most free throws got to shoot for the car. So actually, Jim got to shoot for the car for the half court shot. I didn't make it to that, but I got to shoot for the opportunity for it. But still, I did the half court shot. Like, I can show it to you. It's embarrassing. I hit mesh. I was airball. But like, everybody's like, oh yeah, I got my son out there and everything. Boom, airball. But, so I got to do that. One time we went to go to the finals, like the championship game. It was like St. John Edge versus Sudbury 5. It was the second round of the playoffs. We're walking through the tunnel to go to our seats. The county executive was like, you can't go to your seats right now. Come with us. We're like, okay. So we follow them. They bring us, so you know, like the baseline?
Yep.
How there's like 2 stages on each baseline?
Yes, sir.
They give me and Oscar and that guy with the cowbell, Jim, and his buddy Andrew, they give us the stage for the game.
Come on.
Yeah, they're like, here. And we got set up the whole game and just like, they set us right up.
Passion. Passion's the key to opportunity.
But it's because of passion. It's all passion because it's just like
they don't give that to casual viewers. Let me tell you.
Oh, and it's like, and I'm not like I'm not. How can I put it? Like, I'm not like a courtside season ticket holder. I'm not like, you know, I'm not like, I'm not pumping in a bunch of money to the administration.
You're a big fan of basketball.
I'm a huge fan, and I love it. But they see that. They see that. But they're all about that too. That's what I've learned to know about the organization. That they're all about it. Just as much as our fans are about the team, they're really just as much as the experience.
Dude, if you buy courtside tickets, you're on your phone the whole time versus like you being fully attentive from the nosebleeds. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes a big difference in terms of like passion.
And actually, I've had the pleasure of seeing you at games lately.
Yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to I almost don't want to like say how I got the tickets, but no. Well, I'm going to be getting more tickets and going more often. But Michael, our mutual friend,
Michael Brovac. Big Mike.
He gets tickets.
That's awesome.
For,
I
for a
actually,
few friends. So.
I actually pull the camera out and I film him every game too because
Yeah, I try to.
I love watching that guy. I love watching that man's progress.
We were in the worst spot to get it though, but
I saw
for Patty and I.
Yeah,
that was rough for both of us. I was like, we were like, goddamn. But
what you did, what you had to do.
Yeah, we did what we had to do with what we had, you know.
No, it was a good time.
It was really, really cool. Like cool seeing like especially like Pat and I walking around. Like every 5 people, we were like, oh, what's up, man? Good to see you.
That's another thing too. Like
Crazy.
I love going down there because it's like now we've kind of developed like a family. Like I had to go to the game the other day by myself because Oscar had his mom.
That's when we saw you.
Yeah, his mom and his dad's birthday and his uncle's birthday all in one day. Like they share the same birthday, same day.
That's exhausting.
So we went, but like I could easily go because I had all the season ticket holders that are all around me. Like we all know each other, so it's all like
you're all friends.
I could go by myself. You know, I could have invited somebody, but at the same time, I didn't want to. I feel bad because I feel guilty because it's Oscar's seat. So it's kind of like, but no, it
stays empty.
It doesn't have to. It doesn't necessarily have to. But yeah. So anyways, yeah. So fatherhood really played a huge role in just keeping me really focused, extremely focused. Yeah. So I've had the most extreme level of focus, and now I'm willing just to take on one-offs whenever they happen. Like for example, this podcast. This is great. You gave me an opportunity. I have a buddy that's hitting me up right now to go into like some kind of plan with him with regards to some gaming company he's working with.
Nice, that's exciting.
So that's exciting. And Shaw Claire had a buddy too, Nyden, who he's got this fundraiser effort that he's doing, and
sick.
Like we got a chance to talk to those guys and try to see if we can implement it here.
Yeah.
So it's like all kinds of different opportunities that just happen if your mindset is in a positive one. Positivity is huge though too.
Humongous,
you don't want to be negative.
No.
I mean, because there's no time for negativity. If your mind is focused and you're set on goals, you really don't even have time for negativity other than just having to roll through the punches that you're encountering throughout the process. But like, it's if you're actively because sometimes you get in ruts where you fall off and
oh, for sure,
it happens. That just happens.
Yeah, that's life.
I think that's just if you don't get enough sleep or you don't drink enough water.
Dude, it's reality, man. It's reality, like it's life. You can't control. Like maybe neighbor above or below you was
family
too loud,
sick or something. You never know. That's another thing. You always got to be kind because you don't want to. But those aren't the rules you want to play by. The bottom line is it comes really down to passion.
Yeah.
You got to just be passionate about what you do. And if you're not passionate about it, find something you're passionate about and just double down on it and just do it because you can't fake that. And nothing but quality will only come out of it.
That's true, yeah.
And you can only improve yourself. And another thing I've learned this year about setting goals, that's the thing, like, because we're doing this, we were going to touch on it a little bit prior.
We can dive into it now.
But there's a thing that I do quarterly, and I meet with a group of guys, and it's about 12 to 15 guys, give or take. Sometimes.
Explain to me the dynamic.
So you got all these guys. We meet up at a gym, big gym, and we basically we just kind of get into a circle and we practice different Wim Hof breathing techniques. Mm-hmm. We do different movement techniques, so different stuff as far as stretching. We do meditation. We do all kinds of stuff to help with well-being of the mind, body, and soul.
Mind, body, soul. Yeah.
And then after we finish doing that, we do basically a sharing session where we share. Any wins? We don't do that first. We share if anybody's getting weight on their shoulders. So it's basically an opportunity for you to open up about anything that is getting you down, or if you're struggling with anything. You open up to the group. Now, when you open up to the group, you have ways in which you can receive feedback. So you can either just open up to the group and you just want to just say your piece and that's it, and you don't want anybody to say anything else. You just want to get it out. That's one way in which they can approach it. Or if you're looking for suggestions, you're basically whatever you're looking to, any type of feedback you're looking to or any help you're looking to get from the group, you have to state it clearly before you share what you're sharing. And then that way, because sometimes people just want to share and they don't want to exactly hear what your opinion is.
Yeah, so it changes the way you listen.
That's right. So then you get through that portion, which is very valuable to a lot of people. Sometimes people share more than others. Sometimes people don't share. Sometimes people are the ones that are receiving help as opposed to giving, and vice versa. Sometimes it's the song "Lean on Me," right? Lean on me when you're not strong. I'll be your friend because the one day I'll need somebody to lean on. Like it's just a family thing. It's a brotherhood thing. So, and then after you do that, we share our wins. So anybody has wins they want to go around the circle and share. So you happen to be doing good, like in something that you want to basically brag about. So we do that, and then at that point. We circle back to our annual goal because at the beginning of each year we set an annual goal, and then we just do progress reports every 3 months.
Nice.
To see how we're doing, like you know, whether we're on track or not, and then we hold each other accountable in certain situations sometimes, you know, and at that point, that's where, you know, it gets pretty real, and then we break bread after. It's like a potluck, so everybody brings a food item, and then we just eat, and then it's that. But it's so nice because nobody knew that we were even meeting up to do this. The guy that got us all together was Christian Robertson, the guy that I was telling you about earlier. The guy at the basketball story, when he told me that I got back.
Yeah. I've met him once.
The most amazing person I can honestly say I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
I don't use that loosely. Like that's I mean that. Like this guy is like, I don't even know how to put it. Like he's like a walking angel. He really truly is. And it's like
so cool.
Yeah. So he's the one that like organized it, and he got us all to meet up at this one location, and none of us knew that we were even going to this, like why we were going. He just said, wear something comfortable and just show up at this time. Nobody asked any questions because nobody asked this guy questions.
Nobody really.
When he says something is basically you kind of, you don't do it because he's like authoritative like that, but it's just like he's just that guy. He's that guy that you don't let down. Like he said, he asked for something, you go. You know, you answer that call. So we all showed up, and then we're all looking around, and we're like, I knew a bunch of the guys, and I'm like, okay, and you know, like I'm thinking, wow, this is crazy, and then it turns out that we've been doing it for over a year now, and it's just so valuable to like everything, like the whole like life, just in general. Is because if I didn't have that per se, I don't think there's a lot of things that that I've been trying to overcome over the past year and a half, just in life in general.
Yeah,
like,
you wouldn't have been able to.
COVID and just like society and just like it just really helps to know, and I highly recommend it for anybody that has the means and the ability to have a group of people you can meet up with. It doesn't necessarily have to be people you don't know. Like for us, it's all people that we don't really hang out with on a regular, but now some of us do, you know, from this, but even if it's people you know, just to get people together, like at least make it a point to get together once every 3 months and just see how you're doing, like keep tabs, like check. It's like that's what it is. It's like it's kind of like accountability. It's kind of like a wellness check. It's like a wellness check, kind of, if you think about it, but.
Interesting.
And some guys come to the thing needing help more than others, and then the next time they're the ones that are like enforcing like the crazy support. You know, it's such a crazy dynamic. But at the end of the day, you leave so refreshed, and it doesn't stop there. So we have a chat room, and then we also keep in touch that way. And we went for sushi. We have plans to go see White Man Can't Jump when it comes out, the new one.
Nice.
So stuff like that. We still do things as a group as we can. They just did some Navy SEALs training recently, where they did some crazy like ice plunge challenges and stuff like that.
You invited me to that too, and I did the timing with work. I was
I had to miss it because of my work too. I had to miss it, but like I so wish I would have been able to, because from what I heard from like a couple of the guys, it's like they can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, I heard it like I mean, I could expect, because like it's cold plunge, cold therapy, right? Yeah. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's the benefit's insane. It sucks. Yeah. Like it's fucking brutal to do. But during's brutal, the like anticipation and the anxiety beforehand, and then it's like, okay, do we control how we think about the approach? Let's just do it, submerge, okay, and then how you feel after is like way worth the suffering. Yeah, way worth the suffering.
No, that's the whole point, right? The juice is worth the squeeze, and that's the whole reason why people even do any of those type of grueling things that they do to better themselves and further their position. Because that's what I'm trying to say. Like in this men's group, I learned, like last year, my goal was, it's going to sound ridiculous, but I wanted to be the first transit employee to make $100,000.
Amazing.
Because no transit drivers ever surpassed $100,000 and been on the Sunshine List. I wanted to do that. And I was on track to do it with the rate in which I was doing my overtime.
Amazing.
Like, it was like a science. It was like they had this the overtime that's available that you can sign up for, and if you whatever, but at a certain point in the year, like halfway through, there's another guy at work that was started signing for it all the time. So now I had to wait till he caught up because it goes by seniority.
No.
So once you have, it goes by whoever has the less amount of hours gets the overtime. So I had to wait till everybody caught up. So once they caught up, so I didn't get I didn't get to my goal of the 100,000, but I did get the most hours. So though I didn't achieve the actual monetary figure or the quantitative goal, I did achieve like at least getting like the top. So I did everything. I exercised every single possible piece of overtime I could have did. So I never shot it down once. So I did maximize every opportunity that I could have possibly had in order to execute this goal. Now, in the process of doing it, I was really down. I was really, really down. It was depressing me because I'm looking at this men's circle and everybody's like, they're all killing it. They're all doing really well,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting here not killing my goal, so I think. But I ended up, because of the circle, I talked to a couple of the guys, and if I didn't have the circle of these guys, it's hard to reach out to people. It's hard because we all feel that we're being a burden to somebody, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But nah. So I reached out to a couple of the guys, and it put things in perspective, and I actually, even though I didn't get the $100,000, I still crushed my goal in the sense that I didn't quit. I didn't give up. I was there. I showed up every single day.
You did what you set out to do. The mission just...
And as a human, I progressed.
Yeah.
Because I was hard as fuck. Like, I stayed
it's
hard.
the habits, right?
I stayed hard. The habits, you know. And now I'm a soldier. But I've been a soldier for 10 years, ever since Oscar was born. Because I forgot to tell you, I was a fiber optic technician for Bell. So right when Oscar came, I was on his way, I was a taxi driver and a student.
Nice.
I was doing my last year of public relations. It was an overloaded semester. I had 6 classes to do in order to graduate, okay? Plus a placement, an 8-week placement.
Yeah.
Oscar was on the way. Just went to Cuba, got back from Cuba with my son's mother and I, because we wanted to go to Cuba before he came. So anyways, that semester, I got 4 of the credits. I didn't even finish the 6. So to be quite honest with you right now, I forgot to tell you that part. My college, I've literally have 2 classes to finish, which is spreadsheet management and database management. They're first year classes. I just put them off the whole 3 years. The whole 3 years till I got to the end.
Amazing.
And you need kind of one with the other. Like the one you do a spreadsheet first, then you do a database.
Yeah.
It's any business program you do. They're the first 2 classes you do. So I did all three whatever. But now they don't even have that 3-year public relations program. It's like public affairs or something.
Sure.
It's a 1 year. So I'm looking to talk to the coordinator to see if I can take my 3 years of all those credits that I have, transfer them. Because it was 2013 was the last time I was in school.
Yeah. See
if I could transfer them to attain some kind of diploma. So right now, as it stands, all I have is a high school diploma.
Yeah.
I don't have my full college diploma yet.
Wow.
So I was going back, and that's the thing. When I was in college too, I was doing like this guy. He worked for Universal Canada. Mm-hmm. He came to me to spearhead a couple projects. They were like extreme sports / music. So he wanted me to like put together the roster for the bands and set up the venues and all this. So all this took so much time out of my schedule that I had to leave school for it. Mm-hmm. But I had the support of the faculty because they're like, yo, this stuff you're doing is like not your average stuff, and it's totally your dream job. It's what you are aspiring to do. We're not going to be able to guarantee you this when you're done your program. So the program will be here. Just go do your thing. So I did it.
Yeah.
So I'm working. I'm doing these projects for that guy though. It turns out that he was a shyster. He did work for Universal Canada. He had all of his credentials. He was using it all to implicate the fact that he was not implicate, but be an imposter. So he was imposing the fact that he was still an active member of Universal, but he was setting up these events. Like how he was doing, he was providing a budget for me to provide for these artists and everything, and just running a total scam. So he was doing it.
God damn it.
Just pretending he was Universal, but he was still racking in dough. Like he was doing these events, he was putting on shows. But anyways, we're on to him. I ended up, the juice was still worth the squeeze because I still got valuable information. I still learned stuff from it. But I also learned the hard way about something. Mm-hmm. But also from that, I ended up, in that particular realm of whatever, I ended up doing, what was another thing that I did? Summerfest. Mm-hmm. So Summerfest, there was a hip-hop night that we were looking to do. And a friend of mine was in charge of a certain aspect of it. And he also asked me, because of my, I guess you could say my interaction and my association with hip-hop at the time in the city. Mm-hmm. It was like, it only made sense. So he would have me, he gave me a budget, like I had a city budget, and I was able to book like headliners, opening acts, so I set it all up, so
Let's go.
In the order in which and everything. So at that point in time, things were moving too, and like I was being in videos and doing video shoots and doing, like it was really cool, man. It was a fun time, but then, like I said, I ended up having my son, at which point I got out of the industry for a little bit. And then I got back into hosting parties for Yas and Bob because they would come into town once in a while to throw these awesome like 80s parties and whatever, and they let me MC and be on the mic.
That's sick, yeah.
And even when they would do shows too, they'd still let me act as an active tour manager. I just can't wait now at this point where I'm at now, where Oscar's like 10 years old. I'm in my career. I'm getting better shifts. Like my schedules, because I'm picking, like we pick shifts every 3 months at work. My seniority, I'm going up higher in seniority, so my shifts are getting better.
Nice.
Everything's just... It seems just like at this point in my life at 42, everything's just coming into place. I got an amazing relationship with my son, my family. I got an amazing relationship with my family. I know like my friends, who my friends are. Not to say who my friends are. I'm just saying, make new friends, keep the old. One is silver, the other gold.
Sure.
I cherish all of my friends that I've ever been blessed to know. I've got friends that I haven't seen in 10 years that I'll see and I'll talk to them and it's like we haven't missed a beat. I got friends that I have active friends now. Like, to be honest though, I don't have any people that I hang out with on a regular basis. Like, I don't have like a group of friends where like we go out or I watch UFC or I go poker nights. I'm really literally all just work and my son right now at this point. I do the men's circle thing. I dabble in little things like this. Like, this is great for me. This is a huge outing for me. This is huge because it's
cool.
I get to go out and be social. But like outside of this, I would probably just be at home. Well, no, I wouldn't be. I'd be at work.
Yeah.
Because I'm on vacation this week.
Right. Yes.
But I would be either at work or hanging with my son or going to one of my son's sports things if I'm outside of work.
Yeah.
Because it's just one of those things. But I'm really primarily focused on work, my son right now, just having
amazing.
fun. Yeah. We're doing a lot of horror things. We're going to horror conventions. We met all of our favorite Friday the 13th actors.
Yeah, it looks sick.
All that
That's
stuff.
wild.
We're going to meet Kane Hodder on June 9th. We already got our tickets. We're set up. We're actually staying in the same hotel that Tom Matthews, the guy that played Tommy Jarvis in Part 6.
Oh, come on.
I hit him up on Facebook because when you meet these guys at these conventions, like, some of them are cool, some of them are not so cool, but some of them are like down to earth. And this guy, he keeps in touch with his fans. Yeah. So it's like, I found out what hotel we were staying right at the Marriott, right over the falls at the horseshoe thing. It's the most beautiful view. So yeah, we're into the horror, we're into the basketball. The season, Subby 5, they're killing it. They're 4-0 right now.
That's true. Yeah,
they won their first 3 home games. They're spanking. We got our tickets. We're ready to go. So that's it, man. Basketball. Sports, my son, that's what's up. And I can honestly say I will start dabbling though. I can see myself getting more into the entertainment, more so.
Yeah, please do.
Into the MCing though. I would like to take this MCing though and take it to a different level because you know Jordan Kilgannon.
Yeah.
Well, you're friends with him obviously, and those guys.
Yeah.
So. Oh yes.
Yeah, man.
He's been on the show.
Yeah,
he's been on the show.
Of course.
He's been on the show like more than once too, isn't he?
No,
once or
no, not yet. Yeah.
But yeah, so like I've got a chance to MC like three or four of his dunk shows, right? So
epic, yeah.
He's already agreed to co-sign it. I MC'd Yas's his wedding, so that's a co-sign. My buddy Steve Faulkner, I did his wedding. My buddy Nathan Holmberg, I MC'd his sister's wedding.
So you got all these
I've got weddings. I've got weddings.
References.
I've got the professional references from Logan Stutz for the
amazing,
Pros vs. Joes. I've done parties so I'm thinking about putting together a professional package.
Get her done.
With all the testimonials, my previous experience, and putting a brand on it, a name.
Do that during vacation. Like, that's time, right?
Well, I'll set up the plan. I'll set up the whole plan as far as, like, because it will take money, because I'm not going to, even though I do have the skill set and the proficiency to do it, a lot of technology has changed. A lot of ways in which people, like, target their audiences are different. Like, I don't know the algorithms. I don't know certain things, but I really do need more so just my storefront. So I need my business, my page which lists my skill sets, my experience, my availability, and I think I might be onto something, man. I think I get to MC.
Dude, absolutely. Absolutely. Are you kidding? MC. Now, this shifts perfectly. So, I don't want to dive too much into 5 Cent City because it's been explained a few times on the show. And that to be honest, that event deserves its own episode.
Absolutely.
So with 5 Cent City and you as an MC, so I want to actually tell you my first impression of you.
All right.
Before I the first time I witnessed you, right?
Yeah.
So it was at 5 Cent City the first year I went, not last year that just happened, but the year before that.
Oh.
That was the first one.
Okay.
So, what happened there? So I didn't meet you, but I knew you were you're the main MC, right, for the event.
Yeah.
Now, so there was a couple other hosts, whatever. Our good mutual friend Cliff, shout out to you, buddy. Love you a lot. And then there was
Cliff, what up?
And then there was last year. So last year, this is where I was like, okay, this is who Easy Rick is, in a nutshell. Was when you did a freestyle during the whole hip hop entity and set of hip hop performers. You probably had my favorite. It was the one where I enjoyed the most. And I will say this too before.
You're talking about the one a couple years ago?
No, last year.
Okay, last year. Okay,
last year was dope.
Okay.
Because that was the only one I saw you do. Yeah. But basically, why I say that is, and I want to add this compliment let me preface it with the compliment before I ask this question. So, watching you MC, you are one of, probably, I watch a lot of, public speakers and people who talk and stuff, and it always feels like it comes off a little bit, not so much rehearsed, because I don't think that's a bad thing, but it comes across as stale, or they're putting on a character, and I feel like yours is the like my favorite one, and in the sense when I mean
the character is your favorite.
Yeah, and when I say that is because I know Easy Rick versus like Ricky, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's that. I think it's just a version of you turned up. I don't think it's like a completely separate person. I think it's just like you with like a bit of paprika, a bit of garlic herb, a bit of lemon pepper, and then turned up to 11.
Yeah, because I'm not crazy. I'm not like Eminem.
It's not over the top.
It's not like Slim Shady and Marshall Mathers.
Oh god, no.
Like that's
right? It's not over the top.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so that's why I wanted to compliment you and say that, because I think that was really huge. So that
Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, I mean it. And I want to know. So you freestyled, right? And now you did, like, you remember raps, you remember rhymes. Like, I like the way it flows. So I was wondering if you'd be willing to spit a freestyle here. It could be about the show, because I do want to sample it and possibly make it the intro, depending on what it's about. But I'd like to know if you could pull one off.
A freestyle right now? Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to have a beat though.
Oh, a beat? All right. Do you have one that you like? You prefer? Because I definitely can't. I don't know if I could beatbox.
I'll throw on like a beat.
I'll try, but it will be bad.
On my phone, I could do that.
So I think we found the instrumental. Yeah, this will be good.
Do you want to rock a beat?
Okay. See how it goes, yeah.
Hey, yo, go. We got Glenn, my man, YG. He asked me to do the podcast. I'm like, why me? Why see? The guy do this proper. The guy's reaction got a real jaw dropper, chopper. Yeah, look at the camera action. Pure satisfaction. Put this on the table. I'll disconnect your cable. I ain't telling fables. Go below her navel. Aw, damn. I got my phone. I ain't got no headphones, but I ain't Macaulay Culkin. Home alone, I ain't sulking. Like no Vulcan, I rip the script. That's what I do. I flip shit. Yeah, this dad's the man. I mean that shit. Rip it like the son of Sam. Aw, damn. It's what I gotta do. I'm sick like that of a fucking flu. Come on. Yes, Glenn with the ad-libs. Got it going on. You know he's got the mad give on the mat. For instance, he ain't fat. He's got it going on. He'll lay you on your back. That's the truth. He'll lay you in the booth. Do what he's gotta do. Knock out your tooth. Ooh, yes, y'all. It won't stop. It won't quit. Look at Glenn. He's literally the shit. Yes, we got nice lighting. I'm frightening with my Light of Frightenstein fan club. I got it going on. I'm the man, love. And that's what we gotta do. Mad doves like to fly when they cry, when they flap in those wings. That's what I gotta do. The pain I will bring. Sing like my name was Lionel Richie. Woo! I'm never bitchy. That's it. That's how it goes. Off the top flows, off of the dome. I mean, you know, that's how it is. Front and center. In my brain, you will enter. I got a shirt is black. You know, never whack. That's what I gotta do. Glenn's on the attack. These are facts that I spit. He's across the table. Yeah, that's where he sits. Come on, y'all. It's easy. It don't stop. It won't quit. 2023, baby. That's right. Glenn, we out.
Let's go.
Yeah, baby. I mean, we just getting started, but yeah. That's just a sample. So
what is happening?
That's what's up. So we just did that.
That was so much better than I expected it to be, and I expected it to be pretty good.
Yo, that was just like a warm up though.
What is happening?
That's just how we do. That's how we do. So yeah, man, like I that's what I plan on doing now. So from here on, I want to MC, I want to freestyle. I want to freestyle parties. I want to do...
Gotta air the door out. That shit was fire.
I want to be freestyling in a movie. I want to freestyle in a commercial. I want to do all that. Like my boy, you know Cliff.
Yes.
Obviously, you had him on the show a couple times.
Yes, sir.
That boy's put me in commercials. We did the what was it? The Hard of Hearing Association Dream Home commercial. Okay. He had me locked down in the Tender Touch Moving Company commercial. Actually, I went to work one day, and they're like, hey, you must have friends in high places. I'm like, why? Because we had this production company just ask if you want to do the commercial for the Gova Transit. So I'm like, sure. So I did the commercial, and I actually did the rider guide. They got me my picture on the rider guide. All thanks to Cliff. Cliff, you're the man, son. But yeah, the bottom line is, that's where I want to go. I want to do MCing. I want to take it more seriously. Now that I've got like an actual like body of work, and I got references, I just got to put it together, and I want to MC this year, man. That's what's up. 2023, let's go. MC.
That'd be sick, man.
Yeah, MC Easy Rick.
Dude, I fucking love you for doing the show, man. I love your attitude, your energy, and just the vibe you put out there, the people you know, the people you're connected with, you're just everything you do about like every which way twice on Sunday that you go about doing things, and it's just man. I mean what I said earlier. You drive with passion, and I look up to it a lot, and I'm just grateful you're able to take your time to chat with me today, do a rap live. That was amazing. I'm still like chills. Could be because of the cold, but it's not. It's from you.
It's actually heating up, man.
It's cool off a bit, but no, man, that's awesome. So, with that being said, do you have any like closing final statements or things you want to say?
Just don't sacrifice quality for anything. Don't sacrifice quality. Stick with quality, and you're good. And passion. What Glenn's talking about, you got a passion you can't lose. So stick with quality. Don't sacrifice quality for a sale. I'm your boy Easy Rick. Yo, go 5, go. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Awesome. Where can people find you? Handles, whatever. What can they expect?
Ricky Skakum on Facebook. RICKYSKAKUM. You know what I'm saying? Or you can get me on Instagram at EZ_Rick. RICK at that's what's up. So EZ_Rick on Instagram, and that's it.
Well, dude, thank you, my brother, very much for doing the show.
You're the man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
That's what's up. Thank you so much. I'm beyond flattered. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully, you can do this again,
dude. Absolutely, man.